Hey, you remember me, don't you? That face, that guy in the crowd? Yeah, it's me, Ben. Hey, I'm gonna talk to you guys. I've basically been dead the past, like, what, 2 months?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's been going on. A lot of stuff at work. It was back to school season, and then God smited me, and it was really heavy. So I'm back though, because he cannot keep a brother down, man. I'm going to do a review for the Bob Dylan bootleg set that came out probably about a month and a half ago. This is Bootleg Set Volume 9. This is another self-portrait. This bootleg set, if you don't know about the bootleg sets that Bob Dylan produces, he does about one every 3 years. Excuse me, this is Volume 10? Yeah, because Whitmark was 9, this is 10. I have sources checking for me right now. It is called Another Self-Portrait, though. Is it Volume 10? Yeah, it's Volume 10. Okay. Because Volume 9 was Whitmark demos, and this is another one. So, Volume 10 encompasses... What he does with these bootleg sets is he takes a lot of demo tracks and stuff that were left in the can, or a lot of live shows that were really well done, and he'll put them on these things called bootleg sets. The first 3 came out in a single volume. Volume 4 was a Live in England set, which was really, that's the best one, in my opinion, for live shows anyway. Volume 5 was Live with Rolling Thunder Review. 6 was a Halloween concert in 63 or 64 in New York City. Volume 7 was the No Direction Home Martin Scorsese soundtrack. Volume 8 was Telltale Signs, which is a lot of like 90s and early 2000s demo takes, and they're really good. 9's the Whitmark demos. It's really early Dylan. It's not the best unless you're a super fan, but of course I own it. And Volume 10 is Another Self-Portrait. You have to understand about Bob Dylan during this time period. This is the late 60s, early 70s, so he is not doing the mid-60s. He's not as full of himself as he was during this time period. He's had a kid. He's been married, possibly divorced by this point. I'll have to check. I have not read up on my good old friend Bob Dylan in a long time. Seen him 3 times. He's a great show. I definitely recommend seeing him. But yeah, these take place during the time frame of Nashville Skyline in 1969 to New Morning, which is 71, I believe. But yeah, it's like a 2-year time span that these demos take place in over the course of 3 albums. Nashville Skyline, Self-Portrait, and New Morning. All 3 of those albums are great if you have the original cuts. Especially Self-Portrait. Everyone hates that thing. I love that album. It's really good. There's a lot of like folksy kinds of songs on it. When the Rolling Stone originally reviewed that album, they said, "What is this shit that Dylan just made?" And because it's not as bluesy or rock and roll as his previous albums. So he kind of sorry, I'm reading all kinds of crazy stuff over here. Bob Dylan has a website. God bless him. Yeah, so I, of course, you know me, I bought the 3 LP set with the 2 CDs. I spent $55 on this, if my memory serves me well. Granted, this is a while ago. This is before back to school happened and God smiting me and all kinds of craziness. But, yeah, I got it with free shipping. I didn't get through Amazon. I got through a site called Pop Market. If you're ever, like, really big into vinyl or getting stuff that you might not already have and nice collector sets, they have a lot of cool, like, deals of the day. If you sign up for their email list, I'll push them. I don't care. Give me money, Pop Market, please. But yeah, it's a really cool set. you get the 2 CDs, you get the 3 LPs. If you just, the 2 CD set, I believe, is $20. That's if you go to Walmart. They have it there. Basically what this is, like I said, it spans those 3 albums, so it's a lot of, like, more folksy Dylan, like, more mellowed out, more band influenced Bob Dylan. Granted, you also have to understand, this is Bob Dylan's, like, time in hiding, because in 67, he got in, 67, he got into a motorcycle crash, and he was just gone. He was out of the scene. So a lot of people thought he was dead. A lot of people thought, you know, we'll never hear from him again. But then in 73, or 74, my memory doesn't serve me very well right now, he did a comeback concert in Oakland, California, and you can buy that album called Before the Flood. My dad was at that concert in Oakland, California, with the band, which I would have killed to have been at. The tracks are really good on this. It's a lot of demo takes. If you have these albums, obviously you've heard these songs before. Yeah, that's June 2074 is when it was released. We're talking about Before the Flood now. I don't know the actual dates of those concerts, though. We're going to check. Should say something. We should just have a big gap that says, worst experience technical difficulties. Doesn't say, does it?
Well, what, it was Oakland?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 in Oakland, California, at the Alameda County Coliseum on February 11th. That would have had to been 73, right?
That's what it looks like.
Because it was released in 74, there's no way they would have done that early.
Recorded February 13th to 14th, 1974.
Oh, 74. Okay.
In Los Angeles.
Dude, they got this out quick.
Yeah.
That was back when they rushed albums out. Unlike today, where it's like, oh, when's the new Killers album coming out in 6 years? So, I'm not knocking you Killers.
Chinese democracy is all I have to say.
They should have stopped at Use Your Illusions, too.
Dr. Pepper, eat your heart out.
Please don't sue us, Axel. Please. Please don't.
I love November Rain. That's awesome.
Oh, God. Ooh, that'll make you cry.
Yeah, it will.
So, in conclusion, I'm talking to people that have already listened to a lot of Dylan. If you haven't, and you haven't heard these the actual albums these are off of, I highly suggest going with those first. There's a reason these are demo takes. Not all of them are the best cuts, but if you're a really cool, like, hardcore Dylan fan, you love these 3 albums, there is a lot of really cool stuff on here. There's some George Harrison dubbing on a couple of the tracks where he's singing with Bob. And of course, I love George Harrison. He's my favorite Beatle. He and Dylan worked together a lot, especially with Traveling Wilburys later on. You also get a couple demo takes that are slower. You get a couple demo takes that are faster, because Bob Dylan, whenever he walks in the recording booth, he'll record like 6 versions of the same song and pick the one that he wants to be on the album. And that's what he's done for every single album. Okay, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I don't care if I'm putting personal bias into it. I don't care. It's worth buying. To anyone. I'm wearing a Dead Kennedys t-shirt. That just shows you how diverse I am. I will do one more thing real quick. My prediction for the next bootleg set, which will be Volume 11. They've been saying this for the past 2 bootleg sets. I hope they do it. Blonde on Blonde demos. Apparently, in 66, when they were recording Blonde on Blonde, which is my absolute favorite Bob Dylan album, he did a whole bunch of other stuff that never made it, that they still have, obviously, because Columbia's not stupid. They're going to release it eventually. But from what I heard, it's going to be like a 4 to 6 CD set. So the vinyl box set will be probably close to $250, $300. Will I pay it? We'll see. But will I at least buy the CD? Absolutely. Yeah, until then, I'm probably going to talk more. So if you see another video where I'm wearing the same t-shirt, don't be too frightened. I'm doing a lot of takes right now. So anyway, take it easy out there.